forecast and focus for the month. I did it once already and the video didn't work either way. So I just figured that reading wasn't for you guys. My battery died on my camera and then I didn't have enough space. So we'll see about this one. So I'm gonna try to pull two tarot cards for each, and I'm using the Wildwood Tarot. I love this deck. And anybody that comes into the studio usually likes to use this deck. And then the Oracle cards is going to be the Sacred Earth Oracle. And I'm not going to pretend like I know everything about crystals, so I'm using this Crystal Bible to kind of help figure out what the crystals mean. So if you want to already start looking and focusing on the crystals that you want, this is going to be deck 1 and this will be deck 2. So what kind of wisdom can we gather for the month of June for deck 1? I need 2 cards. That's 2. And then the oracles. Please, for deck 1. What do they need to know? What do they need to focus on? Oh, maybe you're having a hard time focusing. I know this month has been pretty hard. Everybody I talked to is depleted of energy and feel there's this impending or building of transitional energy with everybody, especially the empaths and the people who have holistic practices who really focus on spiritual side of things. Okay, that's way too many, so I'm gonna put it back. Just one card. Card please for deck 1. So the general mood and feeling of everybody is, I feel like I need to rest and I need to reflect on the last month since spring. Wow. Just one card, please. This deck is kind of big, so it's hard to deck, is what I said. There we go. Okay. Just wanted to shuffle live for you guys so you see kind of how I do it. So that's deck 1. Even if it's on the opposite side of the screen, I'm probably messing that up. Let me move it over here. set that there for a minute. That's deck 1. Whatever side it ends up being on. I'm new at this technology stuff, guys. Pull your oracle card. Deck 2, please. What does deck 2 need to focus on? If I can figure out how to do timestamps, I'll do them, so you can just skip right to the decks. All this stuff's new to me, so I'm trying to figure it out. If not, just fast forward the video. Old school, baby. Oracle card for deck 2, please. What do they need to focus on? Not that much stuff. So how are you guys doing? I need to hear from you. I feel like I share a lot on social media, and as much as I want people to be off of social media, I do want some communication from you guys. So talk to me about what's going on in your lives. And you don't have to get in detail, but just let me know the general feeling energetically that you're having, if you're experiencing anything, like sensations like headaches, or having visions, or deeper meditations, or physical pain, maybe a sense of disconnection from people. What symptoms are you having right now? There we go. All right, guys. Deck 2. So I'm gonna let you focus on it, maybe take a few breaths while I look up your crystals. Talk about them first. All right, so once you figured out which deck you want, again, this is deck 1, deck 2, hopefully it's coming out right on the shot. So you have, deck 1 has Jasper, tumbled, these are both tumbled, and hematite. So So jasper is known as the supreme nurturer. It comes in a lot of different colors. This one's an orangey with some cream colored lines going across. This sustains us during times of stress and brings tranquility and wholeness. Used in healing, it unifies all aspects of your life. It reminds people to help each other. And oh my gosh, that's so much what we need right now. The low vibration is really trying to pull at us, and we have to resist that. Jasper aligns the chakras and can be used as in chakra layouts. Each color is appropriate to each chakra. So this stone facilitates in shamanic journeys and recalls dreams, provides protection and grounds energies in the body, absorbs negative energy, and cleanses and aligns the chakras. Psychologically, jasper imparts determination to all pursuits. It brings the courage to get grips with problems assertively and encourages honesty with yourself. It supports you during a necessary conflict, aids in quick thinking, and promotes organizational abilities and seeing projects through, stimulates the imagination and transforms ideas into action, promotes sexual pleasure and supports prolonged illness during hospitalization, and re-energizes the body. Good for circulation, digestive system, and sexual organs. And then you also got hematite, which is effective in grounding as well. So you're in deep need of grounding right now. Maybe a lot of the stuff happening externally is affecting you internally, and you need some type of protection, and really, like the previous stone said, to get a grip on reality and start handling your issues before they get out of hand. Hematite is particularly effective at grounding and protecting. It harmonizes the body, mind, and spirit used during out-of-body journeying, and protects the soul and grounds it back to the body. The stone has a strong yang element and balances the meridians, redressing the yin imbalances. It dissolves negativity and prevents negative energies from entering the aura, restoring peace and harmony to the body. Beneficial for legal situations. Psychologically, hematite is strong. It supports timid women, boosts self-esteem and survivability, enhances willpower and reliability, and imparts confidence. The stone removes self-limitation and aids expansion. A useful stone for overcoming compulsions and addictions, brings attention to unfulfilled desires that are driving your life, treats overeating, smoking, and any form of indulgence, and it helps to come to terms with mistakes and accept them as learning experiences rather than disasters. Stimulates concentration and focus, enhances memory and original thought, brings the mind's attention back to basic survival needs to help sort out problems of all kinds. Useful stone in study of mathematics and technical subjects. Powerful connection with the blood. Restore, strengthen, and regulate the blood supply. Let's see what you got. So I'm going to move this one over. You got the Three of Stones, creativity, the Page of Arrows, and motion. I'm gonna try to zoom in so you can get a better look. There we go. There. So, let's just take a look at the cards. And so if you've followed me at all, I read the cards intuitively. We kind of look at what's happening and then we can refer to the book. But as a general statement, rest is the main theme, and reflection. Obviously, we've already figured out that you guys need to ground yourself And look at what this girl's doing. She's in this tree, grounding herself literally down to the roots. Her legs have just, the bottom of her dress is just turned into the roots of this tree. So she's literally becoming the tree. And her eyes are closed, and her hair actually is turning into like some kind of moss or something. And the 3 of stones is like the 3 of coins. And so this deck, it represents coins or pentacles in some decks. Creativity. There is a charge in the air of creativity right now as well. I'm feeling it. And then you got the Page of Arrows, the Wren. So it's just this little baby bird, this little, you know, a small bird, not maybe a baby bird, but a little bird who's perched on this branch next to the snowy bank. And the river is still, or the water, body of water that it's by is very still. But in the horizon you can see like it's almost like a dawn, so it's got those dawn colors. And then your oracle card is motion, and so she is, it's very translucent, and it almost looks like she's got these waves. And I can't tell if it's like a tortoise. It's very like tortoisey design, kind of in this area, very like water-like, and it's almost like the water is over the top of her, and she is, you guys need to get out in nature. That's the first thing. I know it's hot, but pick times of the days when it's a lot cooler to help manage if you're in the South right now, because I know in Texas it's super hot, but this may be a place for you to find space and peace and quiet, and also connect with nature. Sometimes this is the only place where people feel where they can kind of come back to themselves. And I think you need that quiet, you need that time of grounding in order for you to be able to reflect and rest, so you can kind of clear some stuff out of your head, clear some of the past issues that you've been dealing with. Could be health, or a general just trying to stay positive, but dealing with issues, you know, like this crystal really helps us to kind of get a grip and find the reality perspective on the issues that are at hand. And I think that's probably why you're overstimulated, you're over inundated with like I said, external. So this could be like just social media stuff kind of bringing your vibration down and low, and that's why you need to get out and get into nature, so you can let go of some of that and find that space in your mind. It's not necessarily letting go of all of it, but you need to reflect so you can gain this creativity. Maybe there's something that you're working on, and it's what I'm getting from just the cards is that you know, this bird's kind of, if we're reading it in together in line, that bird's kind of looking at this girl while she reflects into this, what am I supposed to do next? I've come and I've planted seeds, and the reflection part of the general mood right now of the world is to kind of look back at what you started and see what's working and what isn't working, and make and adjust changes. Make changes and adjust to what's good and what's not good. And it doesn't have to be big. And so like this bird being in the snowy caps is kind of like a time, you know, when it gets cold is a time of rest. It gets darker, and this allows us to take that time to rest. So you can't feel like you don't have time, because there's plenty of time. With the rising costs, there's not a lot of time to go anywhere, so you may even just take a walk in a park in your neighborhood or go outside and sit in your yard, even up underneath the stars. But the peacefulness of the water, the stillness of the snowbanks, and the bird just kind of sitting there waiting is a representation of planting more seeds, so adjusting and changing anything that you need to change so you can go into this oracle card, which is motion. But this motion is very slow, it's very water-like, so fluid and going with the flow of things. So making your perspective, sometimes we get set in stone and set in our ways and have a very hard time adjusting to new things, new beginnings. And even though you may be trying to create something or finish some project or set something in motion, it's important to remember these steps in order to allow this to flow. Sometimes when we're pushing, we only get negative back. Things just don't happen the way we want. And then we have to also take out what we expect things to look like. So really just an adjusting of your perspective of things, but also allowing yourself the time to go out in nature, really ground deep into the nature settings around you. Have some time of rest and stillness, whether that is just the art of not doing anything or something that's going to really allow you to kind of veg out and take your mind off things, create space within that, and that will help you plan this motion. But be very open and fluid about the future planning, because you need to allow it to just come as it will and grow organically. The biggest note is to ground yourself. So however you do that, water and nature seems to be the biggest themes of your reading. So I'm not gonna read these cards. You can go look these up if you want. I will read this card from the Oracle deck. Motion. Cause and effect. Know that you want for the future and act accordingly. Be aware of the forces influencing your decision. A spoke in the will is a minor setback, not a disaster. Deal with it quickly and move on. Shifting a single limiting belief will release a flood of creativity, insight, and confidence. Replace hoping for change with acting for change. You have the power to free yourself from the lingering sense of guilt and fear that is holding you back. You can choose to let go, or you can choose to hold on. This card encourages you to release the blocks in your otherwise divine plan. So that's that fluid sense of openness and allowing. This card encourages you to release the blocks in your otherwise divine plan and be free. Remove the debris out of doubt and be moved to hope as love and clarity flow within you once more. Everything is constant motion. So, rest, reflection, and ground. So all these things can kind of come into play. I feel like this may be something about a business, or at least in the sense of entrepreneurship or doing something on your own. So I hope this helps you. And until I see you, I'd like to hear your comments on this too. So moving on to deck 2. you have the amethyst and the smoky quartz. Amethyst is a very healing crystal. It's extremely powerful and protective stone with a high spiritual vibration. It guards against psychic attack, transmuting the energy into love. It's a natural tranquilizer. Amethyst blocks geopathic stress and negative environmental energies. Its serenity enhances higher states of consciousness and meditation, and it has a strong healing and cleansing powers and enhances spiritual awareness. Traditionally, it's worn to prevent drunkenness and has a sobering effect on the overindulgence and physical passion, supporting sobriety. It overcomes addictions and blockages of all kinds. Used at a higher level, amethyst opens to another reality. Beneficial for the mind, calming or stimulating as appropriate. When you meditate it turns your thoughts away from the mundane into tranquility and deeper understanding. Mentally, it helps you feel less scattered, more focused, and in control of your faculties. It helps in decision making, bringing common sense and spiritual insights, putting decisions and insights into practice. It calms and synthesizes and aids in the transmission of neural signals through the brain. Balances out highs and lows, promoting emotional centering, dispels anger, rage, fear, and anxiety, alleviates sadness and grief. And it supports coming to terms with loss. And one of the most spiritual storms, promoting love to the divine. You can put it on your third eye to stimulate it and help facilitate out-of-body experiences, and brings intuitive dreams and transmutes lower energies. Good for production of hormones and tunes the endocrine system and metabolism. It's just a general balancer. And then quartz, it's barely smoky. It might just be it's barely smoky, but this is an amplifier. It absorbs, stores, and releases and regulates energy. Excellent for unblocking it. Works at a vibrational level, attuned with specific energy requirements, a person of needing healing and undertaking spiritual work. It takes the energy to the most perfect state possible, going back to before the dis-ease set in. It cleanses and enhances the organs and the subtle bodies and acts as a deep soul cleanser, connecting the physical dimension with the mind. At a spiritual level, a crystal raises your energy to the highest possible level, containing every color possible. Clear quartz works on all levels of being, storing information like a natural computer. These crystals are a spiritual library waiting to be accessed. The ability to dissolve karmic seeds and enhance psychic abilities, and attunes you to your spiritual purpose. It's the master healer. I feel like you guys are having some spiritual stuff going on. So you got the 8 of stones, which is like pentacles or coins. The 4 of vessels, which is boredom, and then the center. Some of you guys might be dealing with some karmic energy or ancestral, even something within your lineage that you're trying to change. This may be addiction that's been passed down, or some type of something that you've worked hard at letting go of or getting rid of, but it's deep within your DNA. It kind of comes along with your family. It's like one of those things. You may also you're working on, this is kind of a two-parter, so I don't know if I'm channeling like a couple of different energies. First of all is the one with dealing with the karmic, or like the DNA addiction issue that's within the family, or passed down through generations, or this one's about developing skills for what's coming. So like if you skipped the first one, you didn't hear maybe that the general energy of the month of June is rest and reflection. And that's why some of this stuff's coming up for you, because it feels like you've been struggling to overcome this stuff for a long time and you just don't know where to start. I'm gonna kind of stay on the addiction one for now because this is being brought out. Boredom causes you to feel like you need to be doing something, and if you're not being paid attention to, or you're bored with things in your life, like maybe you just don't have a direction, it causes you to kind of sink back into that addiction. Literally, you have a hard time being motivated to do anything because you don't know where to go, because you have struggled so long with this. That takes away from the, when you deal with addiction, there's a lot of healing involved there. And so this one is talking about doing the work that it takes, finding the thing that helps you overcome, and that may be with people, or really, to me, this is more about working on yourself. So a lot of inner reflection, like when you abuse drugs or alcohol, or you have some other addiction like shopping or gambling or something like that, you literally burn your adrenals out, and so the rest is huge for you right now. You're probably feeling it worse than people who don't have to deal with those issues. This could even be a workaholic, but you've burnt yourself out basically, and you have to work at yourself to realize and become self-aware that those things are causing the issues. If it's something like addiction with a chemical dependency, then you need to do some inner work to kind of find out what the root of those issues are and deal with those before they get out of hand again. Because it'll continue. The cycle will continue if you don't deal with the issues. That means dealing with past traumas and all that stuff. For whatever reason, I feel like it's familial, it's through your family. So whether that's your immediate family right now, or through like your mother and father, or some extended family that you have that you're dealing with. On another level, if you're somebody who is just dealing with, you're having some issues because and this is what I'm saying, I'm channeling two different ones. So this one, the second part of this is if you're a person who has been developing skills. So we had this big charge of energy at spring. We did a lot of purging and planting seeds of these visions and these desires that we have, and we have to be careful of burnout, because if you're like me, you get so creative that you don't know where to stop being creative, and it burns you out because you're just go. So this month you're being asked to reflect, and don't let the boredom make you think that you're not doing what you should be. I think a lot of times people don't know what to do at that time. So I encourage you to get out and do some stuff that is going to capture your attention. So some things that you're passionate about, but on a fun level, not like a work level involving this project, if that makes sense. Get out and do something different. Like for instance, I like to paint and do art. When I'm not doing the readings and working with people and doing yoga and all that spiritual stuff, I like horror movies, and I like socializing with people and watching old movies. So like there's a lot of things that I like to do. If you don't have money, you can still find those things to do. Literally, YouTube is at the tips of our fingers, so there's lots of stuff you can learn to do. And I'm gonna read this card, Center. Well, let's just look at it real quick, because I do teach about intuition. It's a very busy card. She does have kind of like this beautiful hat. I can't remember what you call these things, but it is just decorated. It's like Mardi Gras or some type of Brazilian headdress. That's what it's called. And it comes down to a mask. And then it has chain to it. So within it, it's like these candles are lit. It may be hard for you to see on the video, but it's got these little candles. She has a lotus here and then another lotus here right at her heart space. There's these chains coming down, and connected to the chains is like the moon and the sun, and they're just kind of flailing around. And then again, the moon and some light within from where this flower blooms. And there's a lot going on in your head right now, and you're trying to sort through, and what these chains kind of represent to me is like your emotion and your inner sun, so your self-worth and your emotional self, your emotional body is kind of masking almost to the point where it's going to cover you if you don't look within yourself and to the center of yourself where this beautiful flower is blooming. We all got shit, and we all deal with things on different levels at different times of our lives. And I think this one is really asking you to use this time. So become aware of your work. Reflect on what you've done and how far you've come. See what works and what didn't work. It's kind of the same as the first reading. Some of your issues come from that deep root that is your programming, your traditional ways of thinking. The programming involves like how you were raised and how you live your life now, and you're trying to break out of some of that programming. Stagnation feels to you like boredom. So you need to make sure that you give yourself something to do, but not to the level of like work. It has to be fun or lighthearted, something that is going to keep you busy doing something, so you don't use that boredom to kind of fall back into old behavior patterns. You got to look within and find this lotus blossom that you are. It's this, we each have this individual uniqueness, and I think a lot of people don't see that as a value and have a lot of skills and things that are very special and things that other people can't do. And there's some time that you need to spend on your self-worth. And like I said, that comes from your programming, your early childhood days. I'm going to read this card. Do not confuse selfishness with self-centering. Bring your well-being, your values, your future, and your loves to the center of your world. Break the hold of objects, habits, or relationships that insist that you revolve around their needs and demands. Being centered makes you stronger and more balanced, and disturbances are less likely to knock you off course. Extend your positive sphere of influence. Let go of fixed expectations and time frames. Try to be patient, flexible, adaptable, and open-minded. You are well on the way to surviving your heart's desire. An invisible force gently pushes you towards your true center. Let go and let it flow. It has been a long journey, but the destination is much closer than you think. Wow, I'm gonna have to go take like a sage bath after this one. The feeling is very heavy right now. And like I said at the very beginning of the video, if there is something that you feel is kind of riding underneath, about to transpire on a large level, you're probably right. And the importance thing that we need to remember for the general reading for the month is pause, give yourself a chance to rest, whatever that looks like, and reflect on how far you've come. So I hope this helped you guys. Until next time, be love, namaste, and please help support this channel. I can only do this if you guys are there too, and if it helps you or you feel like it could help somebody else, then we're doing what we should be. And I appreciate all the support that you give. I want to hear from y'all, so let me know which card you chose and how it's affecting your life if you want to be that open. And check out the podcast. It's happening, and there's a lot of awesome people that are going to come on there, and there's some extra tools that you guys can use for meditations if that's something that you need help with. So until next time, namaste. Tools that you guys can use for meditations if that's something that you need help with. So until next time, namaste.